Chapter 4. In the last chapter, I described the circumstances which led me to write Sai Satirtha. Let me now describe the first advent of Sai Baba in Shirdi. Mission of the Saints. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whenever there is a decay of dharma and an ascendancy of unrighteousness, I manifest myself for the protection of the virtuous and the destruction of the vicious, and for the establishment of righteousness. I manifest myself age after age. This is the mission of Lord and the sages and saints who are his representatives and who appear at appropriate times and work in their own way to fulfill their mission. For instance, when the twice born, that is Brahmins and Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, neglect their duties, and when the Shudras try to usurp their duties of other classes, then spiritual preceptors are not respected but humiliated. When nobody cares for religious instructions, when everybody thinks himself very learned, when people begin to partake of forbidden fruits and intoxicating drinks, when under the cloak of religion people indulge in malpractices, when people belonging to different sects fight amongst each other, when Brahmins fail to do the Sandhya adoration and the Orthodox leave their religious practices, when yogis neglect their meditation, when people begin to think that wealth, progeny, wife are the sole concern and thus turn away from the true path of salvation, then saints appear and try to set matters right by their words and actions. They serve us as beacon lights and show us the path and the right way for us to follow. In this way, many saints like Nivruti, Jnanadev, Buktabai, Namdev, Gora, Gonai, Eknath, Tukaram, Narahari, Narsibai, Sajan Kasai, Savata, Ramdas and others did appear at various times to show the right path to the people, and so the present advent came as Shirdi Sai Baba. Shirdi, a holy tirth. The banks of the Godavari river in the Ahmednagar district are very fortunate, for they gave birth and refuge to many saints, prominent amongst them being Jnaneshwar. Shirdi also falls in the Kopargaon taluka of the Ahmednagar district. After crossing the Godavari river at Kopargaon, one gets on way to Shirdi. When you go 3 course, 9 miles, you come to Neemgaon, from where Shirdi is visible. Shirdi is as famous and as well known as other holy places like Ganagapur, Nrsimhawadi, Odambar on the banks of Krishna river. As the devotee Ramoji flourished and blessed Mangalveda near Pandharpur, as Samarth Ramdas and Sajjangad, as Sri Narasimha Saraswati at Saraswati Wadi, so Sainath flourished as Shirdi and blessed it. Personality of Sai Baba. It is on account of Shirdi Sai Baba that Shirdi grew in importance. Let us see what sort of a personage Sai Baba was. He conquered this sansar, which is a very difficult and hard to cross. Peace or mental calm was his ornament, and he was the repository of wisdom. He was the home of Vaishnava devotees, most generous like Karna, amongst all, the quintessence of all essences. He had no love for perishable things and was always engrossed in self-realization, which was his sole concern. He felt no pleasure in the things of this world or of the world beyond. His antarang heart was clear as a mirror, and his speech always rained nectar. The rich or poor people were the same to him. He neither knew nor cared for honor or dishonor. He was the lord of all beings. He spoke freely and mixed with all people, watched the acts and dances of Nautch girls, and heard ghazal songs. Still, he swerved not an inch from samadhi. The name of Allah was always on his lips. While the world awoke, he slept, and while the world slept, he was vigilant. His inner self was as calm as the deep sea. His ashram could not be determined, nor his actions could be definitely determined. And though he sat in one place, he knew all the transactions of the world. His darbar was imposing. He told hundreds of stories daily, still he swerved not an inch from his vow of silence. He always leaned against the wall in the masjid or walked morning, noon and evening towards Lendi and Chavdi. Still he at all times abided in the self. Though a siddha, he acted like a sadhaka. He was meek, humble and egoless and pleased all. Such was Sai Baba, and as the soil of Shirdi was trodden by Sai Baba's feet, it attained extraordinary importance. As Jnaneshwar elevated Alandi, Eknath did to Paithan, so Sai Baba raised Shirdi. Blessed are the grass leaves and stones of Shirdi, for they could kiss the holy feet of Sai Baba and take his dust to their head. Shirdi became to us devotees another Pandharpur, Jagannath, Dwarka, Banaras and Rameshwar, Badri, Kedar, Nashik, Triambakeshwar, Ujjain and Mahakaleshwar or Mahabaleshwar Gokarna. Contact of Sai Baba in Shirdi was like our study of Vedant and Tantra. It quietened our sansar and rendered self-realization. The darshan of Sri Sai was our yoga sadhana and talk with him removed our sins. Shampooing his legs was our bath in Triveni Prayag and drinking the holy water of his feet destroyed our sins. To us his commands were Vedas and accepting his Udi and Prasad was all purifying. He was our Sri Krishna and Sri Ram who gave us solace and he was our Parabrahma. As he was himself beyond the pair of dvandvas which never dejected nor elated. He was always engrossed in his self as existence, knowledge, and bliss. Shirdi was his center, but his field of action extended far beyond to Punjab, Calcutta, North India, Gujarat, Dhaka, and Konkan. Thus, the fame of Sai Baba spread far and wide, and people from all parts came to take his darshan and be blessed. By mere darshan, minds of people, whether pure or impure, would become quiet at once. They got here the same unparalleled joy that devotees get at Pandharpur by seeing Vitthal Rakhumai. This is not an exaggeration. Consider what a devotee says in this respect. Dictum of Golibua. An old devotee by name Golibua, aged about 95 years, was a Varkari of Pandhari. He stayed for 8 months at Pandharpur and for 4 months Ashad to Kartik on the banks of the Ganges. He had a donkey with him for carrying the luggage and a disciple as his companion. Every year he made his wari or trip to Pandharpur and came to Shirdi to see Sai Baba, whom he loved the most. He used to gaze at Baba saying, "This is Pandharinath Vitthal incarnate, the merciful Lord of the poor and helpless." This Golibua was an old devotee of Vithoba and had made many a trip to Pandhari, and he testified that Sai Baba was real Pandharinath. Vitthal himself appeared. Sai Baba was very fond of remembering and singing God's name. He always uttered Allah Malik and in his presence made others sing God's name continuously day and night for all 7 days of the week. This is called Naam Saptah. Once he asked Das Ganu Maharaj to do the Naam Saptah. He replied that he would do it provided he was assured that Vitthal would appear at the end of the 7th day. Then Baba, placing his hand on his chest, assured him that certainly Vitthal would appear, but for that the devotee must be earnest and devout. The Dankapuri of Dakurnath, the Pandhari of Vitthal, the Dwarka of Ranchod is here. One need not go far to see Dwarka. Will Vitthal come here from some outside place? He is here. Only when the devotee is bursting with love and devotion, Vitthal will manifest himself here in Shirdi. After the Saptah was over, Vitthal did manifest himself in the following manner. Kakasaheb Dikshit was, as usual, sitting in meditation after his bath. He saw Vitthal in a vision. When he went at noon for Baba's darshan, Baba asked him point blank, "Did Vitthal Patil come? Did you see him? He is a very truant fellow. Catch him firmly, otherwise he will escape if you are even a little inattentive." This happened in the morning, and at noon there was another Vitthal darshan. A hawker came there for selling 25 or 30 pictures of Vithoba. This picture exactly tallied the figure that had appeared in Kakasaheb's vision. On seeing and remembering Baba's words, Kakasaheb Dikshit was much surprised and delighted. He bought one picture of Vithoba and placed it in his shrine for worship. Bhagwant Rao Shirsagar story. How fond was Baba for Vitthal worship is illustrated in Bhagwant Rao's Shirsagar story. The father of Bhagwant Rao was a devotee of Vithoba and used to make waris to Pandharpur. He also had an image of Vithoba at home which he worshipped. After his death, the son stopped everything, the wari, the worship and Shraddha ceremony, etc. When Bhagwant Rao came to Shirdi, Baba, on remembering his father, at once said, "His father was my friend, so I dragged him here. He never offered Naivedya, and so he starved Vitthal and me. So I brought him here. I shall remonstrate him now and set him to worship." Das Ganu's bath in Prayag. The Hindus think that a bath in the holy Tirth of Prayag, where the Ganga and Yamuna meet, is very meritorious, and thousands of pilgrims go there periodically to have the sacred bath there. Once Das Ganu thought that he should go to Prayag for a bath and came to Baba to get his permission for doing so. Baba replied to him, It is not necessary to go so far. Our Prayag is right here. Believe me. Then, wonder of wonders, when Das Ganu placed his head on Baba's feet, out flowed streams of Ganga Yamuna water from both the toes of Baba. Seeing this miracle, Das Ganu was overwhelmed with feelings of love and adoration, and tears filled my eyes. Inwardly, he felt inspired, and his speech burst forth into a song in praise of Baba and his Leelas. Immaculate Conception of Sai Baba and his first advent in Shirdi. Nobody knew the parents' birth or birthplace of Sai Baba. Many inquiries were made, many questions were put to Baba and others regarding this, but no satisfactory answer or information has been yet obtained. Practically, we know nothing about these matters. Namdev and Kabir were not born like ordinary mortals. They were found as infants in the mother of pearls. Namdev being found on the bank Bhimrati river by Gonai, and Kabir on the bank Bhagirathi river by Tamal. Similar was the case with Sai Baba. He first manifested himself as a young lad of 16 years under a neem tree in Shirdi for the sake of Bhaktas. Even then, he seemed to be full of knowledge of Brahma. He had no desire for worldly objects even in dreams. He kicked out Maya and Mukti and was serving at his feet. One old woman of Shirdi, the mother of Nana Chopdar, described him thus: "This young lad, fair, smart, and very handsome, was first seen under the neem tree, seated in an asan. The people of the village were wonderstruck to see such a young lad practicing hard penance, not minding heat and cold. By day he associated with none, by night he was afraid of nobody. People were wondering and asking whence this young chap had turned up. His form and features were so beautiful that a mere look endeared him to all. He went to nobody's door, always sat near the neem tree. Outwardly he looked very young, but by his action he was really a great soul. He was the embodiment of dispassion and was an enigma to all. One day it so happened that God Khandoba possessed the body of some devotee, and people began to ask him, 'Deva, you please inquire, what blessed father's son is this lad, and whence did he come?' God Khandoba asked them to bring a pickaxe and dig in a particular place. When it was dug, bricks were found underneath a flat stone. When the stone was removed, a corridor was seen in which 4 samais were burning. The corridor led to a cellar where cow mouth shaped structures, wooden boats, rosaries were seen. Khandoba said, 'This lad practiced penance here for 12 years. Then the people began to question the lad about this. He put them off, telling them that this was his guru's place, his holy watan, and requested them to guard this well. The people then closed the corridor as before. As Ashwatha and Audambar trees are held sacred, Baba regarded this neem tree equally sacred and loved it most. Mahalsapati and other Shirdi devotees regarded this site as the resting place of Baba's Guru and prostrate before it. 3 Vadas. First, the site of the neem tree and surrounding space was bought by Mr. Hari Vinayak Sathe, and on the site a big building styled Sathe's Vada was erected. This Vada was the sole resting place for pilgrims who flocked there. A platform was built around the neem tree, and lofts with steps were constructed. Under the steps there is a niche facing south, and devotees sit on the par facing north. It is believed that he who burns incense there on Thursday and Friday evenings will, by God's grace, be happy. This Vada was old and dilapidated and needed repairs. The necessary repairs, additions, and alterations have been made now by the Sansthan. Second, then after some years, another Vada, Dikshit's Vada, was constructed. Kaka Sahib Dikshit, solicitor of Mumbai, had gone to England. He had injured his leg in an accident there. The injury would not be got rid of by any means. Nana Sahib Chandurkar advised him to see Sai Baba. So he went to Sai Baba in 1909 and requested him to cure the lameness of his mind rather than that of his leg. He was so much pleased with the darshan of Sai Baba that he decided to reside in Shirdi. So he built a Vada for himself and other devotees. The foundation of this building was laid on 10th December 1910. On this day, 2 other important events took place. First, Mr. Mr. Dada Saheb Khaperde was given permission to return home, and second, the night Aarti at the Chawdi was started. The Vada was completed and it was inhabited on the Ram Navami day in 1911 with due rites and formalities. Third, then another Vada of palatial mansion was put up by the famous millionaire Mr. Booty of Nagpur. A lot of money was spent in this building, but it was all well utilized as Sai Baba's body is resting in this Vada, which is now called the Samadhi Mandir. This site of the mandir formerly had a garden which was watered and looked after by Baba. Three Vadas thus came up where there was none formerly. Of these, Sathes Vada was the most useful to all in the early days. The story of the garden, which was attended by Sai Baba and with the help of Vaman Tatya, the temporary absence of Sai Baba from Shirdi and his coming again to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil, the company of Devidas, Jankidas and Ganagagir, Baba's wrestling match with Moinuddin Tamboli, residing in the masjid, love of Mr. Dengle and other devotees and other incidents will be described in the next chapter. ओम श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय.